Shamim, everyone. I pray that everyone is doing well. So today, this video is going to be called "Carbohydrates are primary metabolites universally present in living beings." This is going to be the actual study that I want to present to everyone, and not based off of the response to Jordan Peterson's video concerning carbohydrates are uh, not essential. So the video is going to be very short, concise as far as the information um, that I'm going to be presenting and the talking. So I want to just get straight to um, to the main points. And I would like to, if I could, like to not talk too much. I want to keep things brief. So this is the video up here on my TikTok account. This is called, or the title is Primary and Secondary Metabolites. So let's play the video.
So, what is the difference between primary metabolites and secondary metabolites found in plants? Primary metabolites are compounds that help to form the general shape and structure and scaffold of a plant. Examples of primary metabolites are proteins.
All right. When it comes down to just overall nutrition and things of that nature, this can be furthest from the truth, because when it comes down to what we need nutrition wise, we need non-essential amino acids in order to be able to produce certain for the body to be able to produce certain proteins. So it's amino acids that we need, not proteins. The body produces or make proteins on its own.
So, what is the difference between primary metabolites and secondary metabolites found in plants? Primary metabolites are compounds that help to form the general shape and structure and scaffold of a plant. Examples of primary metabolites are proteins, carbohydrates, sugars, polysaccharides, and vitamins and minerals are also primary metabolites. So these compounds help to support the plant as it first starts to grow. Now, once the plant is growing rapidly and maturing, the plant will then start to produce beautiful organic compounds. These are natural compounds found in plants, also known as phytochemicals or secondary metabolites. These secondary metabolites are produced by plants in order to help the plant survive. Secondary metabolites are also used in plants for defense, for cell signaling, for plant-to-plant communication, and many other processes that we don't fully understand as scientists. But what we do understand and know is that secondary metabolites are the bioactive compounds found in plants. And these are the compounds that help to maintain healthy gene expression in the body.
Which we'll read over once we get more into the scientific studies and the research and studies concerning this. So we're going to be reading from the medical book, Medical Herbalism, The Science and Practice of Herbal Medicine. I'll also have it up on the screen. We are in chapter 4 under section Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are primary metabolites universally present in living beings on our Earth. I don't believe in the planet thing, but if you do that, if that rocks your boat, that rocks your boat. As the first product photosynthesis, carbohydrates are the starting point for all phytochemicals and also by extension for all animal biochemicals. I'm gonna read this again. As the first product of photosynthesis, carbohydrates are the starting point for all phytochemicals and also by extension for all animal biochemicals. More carbohydrates occur in nature than any other type of natural compound. So we need carbohydrates more than anything because everything is built up and made up of carbohydrates. The most abundant single organic substance on Earth is cellulose, a polymer of glucose, which is the main structural material of plants. Functions of carbohydrates. You're going to understand why we need carbohydrates and why carbohydrates are, you know, so important to, our, daily, life functions. Primarily nutritional component for all animals. Nutritional energy source for metabolism in both plants and animals. Sources of carbon and in metabolic processes. So we know that the body converts what we consume into sugar for energy. So um, that's going to be one of the main reasons that we need carbohydrates. Form of energy storage in the body. Sources of flavor and sweetness in food. Primary dietary fiber sources. Important structural element of cells and tissues, for example, cellulose in plants. Cell walls. Components of cell-to-cell contact and biological recognition. Recognition processes. The name carbohydrate was originally assigned to components believed to be hydrates of carbon. And we know that carbon is sugar, just like stated here. Carbon is it's gonna always be that 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 number one energy source in energy storage, as far as like the production of energy produced. The name carbohydrate was originally assigned to components believed to be hydrates of carbon. Of the general formula, this is the formula. Of course, we now know that many other molecules are also hydrates of carbon. So the word has become an interesting reflection on the early the early history of biochemistry. The definition of carbohydrate has been modified and broadened to include polyhydroxyaldehydes and ketones, alcohols, and acids. All of these are different classifications of sugars. These are more complex. These would be more so on the oligo and polysaccharide side of sugars, which is extremely hard for the body to break down. And simple derivatives of these compounds, as well as the products formed by their condensation into oligo or polysaccharides. In fact, many compounds of unusual structure that do not conform to the general formula are now included in the expanded group of compounds known as carbohydrates. And that is because this is the most abundant, you know, abundant thing. This is what everything is practically made of. So of course, everything is going to be the derivatives of these things are going to be classified under carbohydrates. So now we're in the classification of carbohydrates. In biochemistry, sugar and carbohydrates are now commonly termed saccharides. The name is derived from the Latin word saccharine, meaning sugar. Carbohydrates are usually classified according to the size and thus solubility. So when we come down here and we look at different classifications of saccharides, the type of saccharides that we're supposed to be consuming is monosaccharides. This is what you get from your plants. These are going to be less complex and easily readily for absorption within the body versus all the others that you see here. The other two, the oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. You can take a moment, pause it, read it, and also all of the information that's going to be produced here will be shown here. Will be added to the description as well. In biochemistry, sugar and carbohydrates are now commonly termed saccharides. The name is derived from the Latin word saccharine, meaning sugar. Carbohydrates are usually classified according to size and thus solubility. For example, a monosaccharide contains one sugar, a disaccharide contains two sugar, and a polysaccharide contains many sugars. In general, the larger the molecule, the less soluble it is in water. Basically, what I was just explaining. Most carbohydrates in plants are bound as oligo or polysaccharides or attached to a range of different aldehydes and glycosides. Much variation occurs in the way they are linked in plant glycosides, oligosaccharides, or polysaccharides. Carbohydrates may be classified according to the number and relationships of the monosaccharide groups present. All right. Oh, and I like to mention this also too before we move forward. And we're going to go into uh, scripture really fast, real quick. So we're in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 47 and verse 12. Uh, Genesis 1:29 states that fruits that bear seeds. We were given the herb, and but trees that bear fruit that have seeds uh, are is our daily meat. These are foods that we should be consuming, and this is backed by um Ezekiel. Ezekiel actually gives a more clear-cut explanation as to what our daily meat is versus what our medicine is. Ezekiel chapter 47 and verse 12. And by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, all all trees for meat. Our meat should be growing from trees, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary. Are you listening? And the fruit thereof shall be for meat. This is your daily meat. And the leaf thereof for medicine. This is your medicine. Thus saith the Ishai Eloah, the Eloah that spake to Moses face to face. I am that I am. Hey, hey, hey. It is important to eat what your daily meat is, because um, when you're eating uh, when you're eating foods that are a little bit more complex in saccharides, which would be your oligosaccharides and your polysaccharides, you're going to be eating foods that are starchy. Um, so you wanna eat your fruits and starchless vegetables. And I wouldn't consume vegetables on a daily. Remember, green leafy foods are your medicine. And this is just from like my experience with consuming vegetables. They will uh, cause a form of disease within the body. And like I said, we should be consuming monosaccharides, um, your fruits, and starchless vegetables. That way, we can avoid constipation. And I would like everyone, if you can, this link will be in the description to this book. But I will I personally recommend getting the book. This book is from Arnold Ehretz. And the name of it is The Definite Cure of Chronic Constipation, also overcoming constipation naturally. So these are the different sections here. That is that is located in the that is in this book here. The internal cleanliness of man, the effect of laxatives, the real cause of constipation, nourishing and carrying laxatives, followed by the conclusion. All right, so we're in the National Library of Medicine. We're going to be reading um, under the section determining amino acid requirements in humans. In the human body, protein is the chief functional and structural constituent in every cell. I disagree with that, but when we get more into this study and the other studies associated with this, it's gonna all be linked to amino acids. In the human body, protein, or which we should be consuming, is amino acids, is the chief functional and structural constituent in every cell. During development, dietary protein amino acids is necessary for growth, plus maintenance along and during all stages of life. The most important nutritional aspect of dietary protein are the constituent amino acids. Among the 20 amino acids the that constitute human body, protein 9 are are indispensable. So these are the 9 amino acids here that we need to consume for the body to be able to produce the proteins that we need. Which means they cannot be made in the body and must be supplied in the diet. There are 5 dispensable amino acids. So we have the 5 dispensable amino acids here that can be synthesized in the body, whereas the remaining 6 are conditionally indispensable. Meaning they can be made by the body, however, their synthesis becomes limiting under specific conditions. This can be under some type of trauma stress. So keep that in mind. We're still in the National Library of Medicine. We're under Biochemistry, essential amino acids. Proteins are made up of 20 amino acids. I'm going to read this again. Proteins are made up of 20 amino acids. There are actually more amino acids than 20. The body produces so many different types of protein, but these are just the amino acids that are acknowledged. Proteins are made up of 20 amino acids. Each amino acid has an α-carboxyl group, a primary α-amino group, and a side chain called the R group. Amino acid generic structure. So we're going to go down to the chart just so everyone can just get a good look at it. So this is the figure here, the chart. Unlike other amino acids, proline has a secondary amino group. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to try to pronounce all of the amino acids. Unlike other amino acids, proline has a secondary amino group. The side chain varies from one amino acid to the other. Nutritionally, amino acids are divided into three groups: essential, non-essential, and semi-essential. Semi-essential amino acids are synthesized by the body, but are designated essential during periods of stress. It's basically what I covered in the first research article. 9 amino acids include these amino acids here, are classified as essential because they cannot be synthesized by humans or other mammalian cells. I'm going to read this again. They are classified as essential amino acids because they cannot be synthesized by human or other mammalian cells. So this is why we need to consume carbohydrates to get these essential amino acids, and apparently so do other animals. So when you use common sense and you use logic, if animals have to consume plants to get their amino acids, uh, and the amino acids that they're consuming is then being converted into to proteins, which are amino acids that are more complex in nature, which we're going to get into once we get into later research articles and and other studies. It's going to be impossible to get the amino acids that you need to produce the proteins that your body needs. And then on top of that, uh, uh, animal protein is extremely dangerous. Um, and we'll get into that in a later video. Therefore, these amino acids must be supplied from an extragenous diet. The body synthesizes non-essential amino acids, not primarily derived from the diet. Semi-essential amino acids are growth-promoting amino acids. They are essential in growing children, pregnant women, and lactating women. In addition to serving as building blocks of proteins and peptides, amino acids play crucial in various important functions. So amino acids, which we're going to be constantly seeing, this is going to be revolving, that amino acids are the building blocks for proteins and for peptides. But and let's continue. Um, some amino acids are converted into carbohydrates, which we learned before in the video with the doctor explaining the difference between primary and secondary metabolites. Some amino acids are converted to carbohydrates and are called gluconic amino acids. Certain amino acids give rise to specialized products. For example, this is an amino acid. This is tyrosine. Can be converted into hormones, such as thyroid hormones, which is thyroid is responsible for metabolism. I think the thyroid and the I would say the liver or the kidneys are uh, are intertwined as far as metabolism goes. Besides 20 amino acids that participate in protein synthesis, recently two more new amino acids have been described, and these are the two amino acids. This one and particularly occurs at the active site of several enzymes, including uh, thiodoxtrin and uh, reductase and glycosylation and pyridoxase. And this one in particular is not present in humans, in but is used in the biosynthesis of proteins in some uh, methan, me, methan, methanogenic species such as uh, ar, archaea and bacteria. All right, so now we're still in the National Library of Medicine. Now we're going to be reading from um, this this medical implication. I like this book. This is a really good book. Introduction. Diet and Health examines the many complex issues concerning diet and its role in increasing or decreasing the risk of chronic disease. Its purpose, its purposes, dietary recommendations for reducing the risk of major diseases and causes of death today. Um, this includes cardiovascular disease, including heart disease, stroke, cancer, high blood pressure, um obesity, osteoporosis, diabetes, uh, liver disease, and dental caries. So, all of these play an important factor to, you know, sickness, to our sicknesses, and they are uh, some of the leading causes of fatalities today. All right, so we want to go down to um, uh, section 8 under protein. Proteins account for about three-fourths of the dry matter in most human tissues other than bone and adipose tissues. They are macromolecules with molecular weight ranging from a few thousand to many millions. And they are required for particularly every essential function in the body. From the standpoint of nutrition, the human body does not require dietary protein per se. I'm going to read this again. From the standpoint of nutrition, the human body does not require dietary protein per se. So what was mentioned up here, these are functions after the body consumed uh, the essential amino acids needed. From the standpoint of nutrition, the human body does not require dietary protein per se. Rather, it requires 9 essential amino acids that are present in dietary proteins. Uh, let's rock with it. Dietary sources of utilizable carbon, and that just means uh, something that can be utilized. Usually from carbohydrates, which we know already, and nitrogen are required for the synthesis of non-essential amino acids. And we know nitrogen is when you look at study the purpose of and the importance of nitrogen. Nitrogen helps things to grow. So the main thing that I wanted to take from here is that the body it requires the necessary essential amino acids that we need to consume from carbohydrates. Um, um, this would include, in its whole, simple uh, simple sugars, which is monosaccharides, lipids, which includes all your different classifications of fats, um, and um, your fibers and simple amino acids. Now we're going to be reading from Science Direct under amino acids, and then we're going to conclude under the section amino acids, peptides, and proteins. This is very important, so I want everyone to you know to if you could pause this, read it, and if you're following along, just pay attention. Amino acids are bifunctional components and the basic structural units, building blocks of proteins. Just like we've read before in the previous studies. In chemistry, an A amino acid uh, consists of amino group, a carboxyl group, and R group, a and a hydrogen atom, which is bonded to the A carbon. The R group represents a side chain specific to amino acid and 20 different kind of side chains, varying in shape, size, charge, hydrogen bonding, capacity, and chemical reactivity are commonly found in proteins. And we know, um, let's just continue. Amino acids are not only important for protein synthesis, but also serve as precursors for hormones, coenzymes, alkaloids, cell wall polymers, um, uh, porphyrins, uh, antibiotics, nucleotides, pigments, and neurotransmitters. A deficiency of one amino acid may result in a negative uh, nitrogen balance. I presented as much information, as possible to clearly show the importance of as to why we should be consuming carbohydrates. The carbohydrates that the creator told us to eat. Um, we have to be careful with who we put our trust in. We're told in scripture to not put our trust in man. but to put our trust in the Creator. We're also told to, trust in, you know, the Ishai Eloah, the Lord God, with all your heart and lean not into thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Lean not into thy own understanding. You know, um, fear your Creator and depart from evil. Because when you fearing your Creator, and you praising His holy name, you keeping His law, statutes, and commandments, including His dietary laws. It's going to be health to your navel and marrow to your bones. And when you receive, and when you have the ability to be able to, provide for yourself, and you receive, these substances, the food that you need, um, you know, pray to your Creator. You're supposed to honor your Creator with all your. You're supposed to honor the Creator for providing you all the substance that you have. Um, with that being said, um, I always keep saying this. Be careful out there. We are. It, we're in a time that Daniel spoke of, where it's going to be a time of lawlessness. So, and there's going to be a time of trouble that was that's coming. That's going to be never seen ever since there was a nation. So, um, be safe, keep your family safe, be vigilant. Just be careful out here. Um, Build your relationship with the Creator. Train, exercise if you can. Just intermittent fast for extended periods of time. I would say maybe like about 16 hours of the day, and if you can fast, and combine that with prayer, meditation, and breathing exercises. Um, I like the Book of Psalms because David explains he explains a lot of this. So and of course his son who is yet wise too, who happens to be the wisest man who has ever lived, King Solomon, the Book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and he has other materials like Psalms, and the Wisdom of Solomon, yeah, and the Testament of Solomon and stuff like that. Um, these will help give you advice as far as um, the way you should go, giving you the instructions so that you'll have the proper direction to go as far as like for those who are looking to improve their health. I would look to I will look to those books to read, as well as um, studying Levitical law um, concerning nutrition too. That includes clean and unclean animals. But with that being said, thank you everyone for supporting um, me by giving your time to watch these videos. This is Antoine with All One Fitness, and I'll see everyone on the next one. Shalom, everyone.